वेलकम टू NGCon ऑनलाइन अकेडमी। इस लेक्चर में हम संडे टेस्ट नंबर 2 की जो कि गैसेस और बॉन्डिंग से इंक्लूडेड है उसकी डिस्कशन करेंगे। सो लेट्स स्टार्ट। द फर्स्ट MCQ सेज बॉन्ड फॉर्मेशन स्टेबलाइजेज एटम्स बाय। तो देखें, अगर दो एटम्स एक दूसरे के करीब आएंगे और ये जॉइन करके कन्वर्ट हो जाएंगे इनटू अ मॉलिक्यूल, तो दिस प्रोसेस इज़ कॉल्ड बॉन्डिंग। नाउ बॉन्डिंग के रिज़ल्ट में हमेशा एनर्जी क्या होती है? रिलीज़, जिसका मतलब है कि एटम्स की एनर्जी पहले ज़्यादा थी और बॉन्ड बनाने के बाद एनर्जी क्या हो गई? डिक्रीज़ हो गई। तो बॉन्ड फॉर्मेशन आपके एटम्स को स्टेबलाइज करता है बाय डिक्रीजिंग देयर एनर्जी। A gas is taken at 30 degree centigrade, its volume will become 3 times at. So keep in mind कि जब भी चार्ल्स लॉ का क्वेश्चन आए टेम्परेचर और वॉल्यूम, सो ऑलवेज कन्वर्ट टेम्परेचर इनटू केल्विन एंड देन आपने उसके हिसाब से सॉल्व करना है। तो केल्विन इज इक्वल टू सेंटीग्रेड प्लस 273, सो 30 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड इज इक्वल टू इन केल्विन्स 303 केल्विन्स। अब वॉल्यूम 3 टाइम्स तब होगा जब केल्विन टेम्परेचर 3 टाइम्स होगा, नॉट द सेंटीग्रेड टेम्परेचर। तो केल्विन टेम्परेचर को हम 3 टाइम्स करें तो इट विल बिकम 909 केल्विन। सो इस टेम्परेचर के ऊपर हमारा वॉल्यूम 3 टाइम्स हो जाएगा। नाउ इसको अगर हम वापस सेंटीग्रेड में कन्वर्ट करें तो इसमें से हम 273 को माइनस कर देंगे तो हमारे पास ये आ जाएगा 636 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड। सो डी इज़ द करेक्ट ऑप्शन। विच इज़ नॉट एन इंटरमोलिक्यूलर फोर्स। तो इंटरमोलिक्यूलर फोर्सेस वो होती हैं जो हमारे पास इंडिपेंडेंट मॉलिक्यूल्स को एक दूसरे के साथ जोड़ कर रखती हैं इन लिक्विड और सॉलिड स्टेट। सो हाइड्रोजन बॉन्ड, लंदन फोर्स एंड डिबाय फोर्सेस आर इंटरमोलिक्यूलर फोर्स, जबकि कोवलेंट बॉन्ड मॉलिक्यूल के अंदर एटम्स को जोड़ के रखने वाली फोर्स है। सो इट इज़ इंट्रामोलिक्यूलर फोर्स। सो बी इज़ द करेक्ट ऑप्शन। According to VSEPR theory, geometry of a molecule is determined by. So VSEPR is a simple model जो ज्योमेट्री को हमारे पास दो चीज़ों की बेस पे एक्सप्लेन करता है। वो ये कि आपके सेंट्रल एटम के इर्द गिर्द हमारे पास कितने लोन पेयर्स हैं और कितने हमारे पास बॉन्डेड पेयर्स ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन्स हैं। सो द मोस्ट अप्रोप्रिएट ऑप्शन इज बी। The slope of graph between volume and temperature in Charles law is equal to. So यहाँ पे हम x एक्सिस पे टेम्परेचर ले लेंगे और y एक्सिस पे हम वॉल्यूम ले लेंगे। So as you increase the temperature, volume increases. Now slope is equal to y by x. So हम इसके लिए लिखेंगे slope is equal to volume divided by temperature. तो अगर वॉल्यूम डिवाइडेड बाय टेम्परेचर हम लिखें तो चार्ल्स लॉ के मुताबिक वॉल्यूम डिवाइडेड बाय टेम्परेचर इज़ अ कांस्टेंट, सो स्लोप इज़ इक्वल टू द कांस्टेंट ऑफ चार्ल्स लॉ। Dipole forces are possessed by. So H2 gas is a non-polar molecule because it has two same atoms, so इसमें लंदन forces होंगी। बेंजीन C6H6 is again a non-polar molecule, इसमें भी लंदन forces होंगी। HBr in liquid state is a polar molecule because bromine is partially negative and hydrogen is partially positive. So HBr को attract करेगा through dipole forces. Which factors affect the bond angles of a molecule? So the first option is number of bonds between central and surrounding atoms. So central और surrounding atoms के बीच में bonds का number bond angles को affect कर सकता है। फॉर एग्जाम्पल आपके पास अगर हम ले लें फॉर्म अल्डिहाइड, तो फॉर्म अल्डिहाइड में यहाँ पे डबल बॉन्ड है, यहाँ पे सिंगल बॉन्ड्स हैं, तो डबल बॉन्ड ज़्यादा स्पेस ऑक्यूपाई करता है, ये बॉन्ड एंगल्स हमारे पास बड़े होंगे, और सिंगल बॉन्ड कम स्पेस ऑक्यूपाई करता है, ये बॉन्ड एंगल छोटा होगा। सो दिस अफेक्ट्स नंबर ऑफ सराउंडिंग एटम ऑल्सो अफेक्ट्स द बॉन्ड एंगल्स। लाइक अगर 2 सराउंडिंग एटम्स हों तो बॉन्ड एंगल 180 डिग्री होगा, और अगर 3 सराउंडिंग एटम्स हों तो बॉन्ड एंगल 120 होगा। सो दिस इज ऑल्सो करेक्ट। इलेक्ट्रोनेगेटिविटी डिफरेंस ऑफ सेंट्रल एंड सराउंडिंग एटम ऑल्सो अफेक्ट्स द बॉन्ड एंगल, सो ऑल ऑफ द अबव फैक्टर्स आर करेक्ट। If a graph is plotted for Charles law with temperature on x-axis and volume on y-axis, so this suppose we plot it at 1 atm. So on increase in pressure the graph becomes, तो जब हम प्रेशर को इंक्रीज़ करेंगे तो प्रेशर को इंक्रीज़ करने से वॉल्यूम डिक्रीज़ कर जाएगा। तो हायर प्रेशर पे वॉल्यूम कम होगा। सपोज़ हम 2 एटमॉस्फेयर्स पे अगर इस ग्राफ को बनाएं तो यहाँ पे वॉल्यूम 2 कम होगा, वॉल्यूम 1 ज़्यादा होगा। सो द ग्राफ विल बिकम, सो ग्राफ नीचे जाएगा, सो इट मीन्स कि इट विल बिकम लेस स्टीपर देन दिस वन। सो बी इज़ द करेक्ट ऑप्शन। At boiling point, which of the following is true about vapor pressure? So keep in mind, when we start heating a liquid, so temperature of a liquid increases, which increases the kinetic energy of liquid molecules, and along with that, vapor pressure of the liquid increases. Now at one time, the vapor pressure of the liquid becomes equal to external pressure and the liquid starts boiling. So boiling occurs when vapor pressure of a liquid is equal to external pressure. Geometry of NH3 is similar to, so nitrogen belongs to group 5, so it has 5 electrons in the valence shell. Now 3 hydrogens get attached to it and the geometry is trigonal pyramidal. Now seeing the geometry of all the given molecules, sulfur trioxide is triangular planar molecule. BF3 again is triangular planar molecule. H3O plus, here oxygen is the central atom. It consists of 6 electrons because it belongs to group number 6. But due to positive charge, we draw 5 electrons. Now 3 hydrogens attached to H3O will make the geometry similar to that of NH3. So C is the correct option. A gas has a volume of 1.12 decimeter cube. How many moles of gas are present? So according to Charles' law, volume is equal to number of moles into 22.4 decimeter cube. So volume is given as 1.12. It is equal to number of moles into 22.4. So number of moles is equal to 1.12 divided by 22.4. So this becomes equal to 0.05 moles. So C is the correct option. Which statement is true about water in liquid and solid form? So water in liquid form at 50 degree has greatest density. No. Water at 4 degree has greatest density. Water in ice form has greater density. No. Water in liquid form has greater density than solid form. Number of hydrogen bonds is greater than in liquid form. No. Number of hydrogen bonds are same in both the forms. Volume expands by 9% when liquid converts to ice. Yes. So water has lower volume and greater density. Ice has greater volume and lower density. So when water converts to ice, 9% expansion of volume occurs. Which pair of molecules have same geometry? So SO2 and CO2, sulfur belongs to group 6, so SO2 molecule has bent geometry, while carbon belongs to group 4, so carbon dioxide has linear geometry. PCl3 and BF3, so phosphorus belongs to group 5, boron group belongs to group 3. So fifth group and third group don't have similar geometry if the number of surrounding atoms is same. CH4 and XCH4, so carbon has 4 hydrogens attached to it. Xenon has 8 electrons, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So these two geometries are also not similar. Then carbon dioxide is a linear molecule and BeCl2 is a linear molecule. So both of them have same geometry. Density of an ideal gas can be calculated by the relation. So PV is equal to nRT for an ideal gas. Now density is equal to given mass divided by given volume. So here instead of number of moles, we write number of moles is equal to given mass divided by molar mass into RT. Now वॉल्यूम को हम नीचे ले आएंगे, m को इधर ले आएंगे, तो Pm is equal to given mass divided by given volume into RT. So it becomes Pm is equal to density into RT. So density is equal to Pm divided by RT. So आपके पास C is the correct option. Hydrogen bonding is present in a mixture of, so these two are aldehydes. They do not form hydrogen bond with each other because they have oxygen but not hydrogen to form hydrogen bond. H2O and formaldehyde. Now formaldehyde has an oxygen atom which can form hydrogen bond with the two hydrogens of oxygen. So these two form hydrogen bond with each other. Molecule with greatest bond angle is, so H2O has bond angle 104.5, H2S has bond angle 92, CH4 has bond angle 109.5 and BF3 has bond angle 120. So BF3 has the greatest bond angle. General gas constant is a universal constant. Its value in standard units is, standard units means SI unit. So in SI unit, the value is 8.314 Newton meter, or we can also write joule for it, per mole per Kelvin. So B is the correct option. Which of the following is the characteristic property of liquids? So liquids are non-compressible. They don't have any definite shape. They have a definite volume, so C is the correct property. Minimum electronic repulsion is present in. So CO2 is a linear molecule with 180 degree angles. NF3 has 102 degree bond angles. H2O has 104 degree bond angles, and BF3 has 120 degree bond angles. So bond angles are greatest in carbon dioxide, so the repulsion between electrons would be minimum due to greatest bond angles. 1 mole of an ideal gas at 26 degree temperature possesses a volume of 30 decimeter cube. Its pressure would be. So we write PV is equal to nRT. Keep in mind, use temperature in kelvins here. So we have pressure unknown, volume is 30, number of moles are 1, R is 0.0821, and temperature 26 degree is equal to in Kelvin 273 plus 26, so it is equal to 299. It is equal to 0.0821 into 299 divided by 30. So 30 almost multiplied by 10 is equal to 299, and 10 into 0.0821 is equal to 0.821. So B is the correct option. The surface tension of a liquid decreases with. So with the temperature, relation is that if the temperature increases, the forces of liquid becomes weak, which decreases the surface tension. So surface tension decreases with increase in temperature. Maximum total lone pairs are present in. So BeF2 has no lone pair in central atom, but total 6 lone pairs in surrounding atom. H2O has 2 lone pairs on the central atom and no lone pair on the surrounding atom. Cl2O has 2 lone pairs on the central atom and 6 lone pairs on the surrounding atom, making a total of 8 lone pairs. And CO2 has no lone pair on the central atom and 4 total lone pairs on the surrounding atom. So maximum number of lone pairs are present in Cl2O. At absolute zero, the Celsius temperature is, so 0 Kelvin is equal to 273.16 degrees minus 273.1 degrees centigrade. So D is the correct option. The boiling point of a liquid depends upon color, no. Atmospheric pressure, yes. If external pressure is high, boiling point would be high. And if external pressure is low, boiling point would be low. So B is the correct option. Correct relationship between bond angles of H2O and H2S. So in H2O, central atom is electronegative, and in H2S, central atom is electropositive. So whenever central atom is electropositive or surrounding atom is electronegative, so bond angles decrease in both the cases. So bond angle in H2S is 92 degree and in H2O is 104 degree. So H2S has lesser bond angles. If temperature is increased 4 times and pressure is increased 2 times, volume becomes. So temperature has direct relationship with the volume. Temperature increases 4 times, volume increases 4 times. Pressure has inverse relationship with the volume. So if pressure increases 2 times, volume becomes half. So overall volume becomes 2 times greater. So C is the correct option. Rate of evaporation is greatest for. So let's see the boiling point. Benzene has 80 degree boiling point, acetone has 56, CCl4 has 76 and water has 100. So the least boiling point is for acetone, so its IM forces are weakest and its rate of evaporation is maximum. Strongest bond is formed by, so hybrid orbitals form strong bonds than the normal orbitals. And in hybrid orbitals, sp forms strongest bond, then sp2 and then sp3. So sp has greatest s character, its bond would be strongest. An ideal gas equation follows KMT cannot be liquefied because kinetic molecular theory says there are no attractive forces between the molecules. Even if you push them closer, they cannot attract each other, so ideal gas cannot be liquefied. Vapor pressure of a liquid at a given temperature depends upon. So vapor pressure directly depends upon intermolecular forces. So if IM forces are strong, vapors cannot escape, vapor pressure would be low. And if IM forces are weak, vapors can easily escape, so vapor pressure is high. C2H4 contains, so this is an ethene molecule, and in ethene there are a total of 5 sigma bonds and 1 pi bond. So D is the correct option. Mass of helium is twice that of hydrogen. At a given temperature, average kinetic energy of helium molecule is. So average kinetic energy does not depend upon the mass, it just depends upon the temperature. So if the temperature is same, hydrogen and helium would be having same average kinetic energy. Compared to gases, liquids are non-compressible, incompressible. This is the correct option. sp3 hybridization occurs in. So sp3 can occur in all these three cases. In tetrahedral molecules like CH4, there are 4 bond pairs, so hybridization is sp3 because there are 4 hybrid orbitals to bond with 4 hydrogens. In pyramidal molecules like NH3, there are 3 bonds and 1 lone pair, so again hybridization is sp3. So one hybrid orbital has lone pair and the other 3 form bond with the hydrogens. And in angular molecules like H2O, 2 of the hybrid orbitals contain lone pairs and 2 form bond pairs, so can occur in any of these. Density of ideal gas is greatest under which conditions of temperature and pressure? So density is equal to pressure mass by volume. Density would be greatest when volume is lowest. So volume is lowest when temperature is lowest and pressure is greatest. So 2 atm is the greatest pressure and 100 degrees centigrade is the lowest temperature. Now comparing the first option with the C option. So in first option temperature is 273 kelvins and in C option temperature is 373 kelvins. So 273 is not the half of 373, which means that pressure is double here but temperature is not half there. So therefore in this case the volume would be lower and density would be greater. When CH3 plus reacts with Cl minus, so CH3 plus has sp2 hybridization, and if it reacts with Cl minus to form CH3Cl, so the hybridization shifts from sp2 to sp3. So C is the correct option. Which of the following covalent bonds has the highest ionic character? So highest ionic character is when the electronegativity difference between the two bonded atoms is greatest. Here there is no electronegativity difference. Between hydrogen and fluorine, fluorine has 4.0 and hydrogen has 2.1, so electronegativity difference is 1.9. Between carbon and hydrogen, carbon is 2.5 and hydrogen is 2.1, so it is 0.4. And between two nitrogens there is again no electronegativity difference, so this has greatest ionic character. sp2 hybridized molecule of the given is, so NH3 is sp3 hybridized molecule. Looking at NH2 minus, so nitrogen belongs to group 5 but we draw 6 electrons due to negative charge here and we have 2 hydrogens. So there are a total of 4 bond plus lone pairs, so hybridization is sp3 here. BF3 has 3 bond pairs, so we need 3 orbitals, so we have 3 orbitals in sp2 hybridization, so C is the correct option. Gas deviating from ideal behavior the earliest is, so NH3 has hydrogen bonding which are very strong forces, so it deviates the earliest. Bond length of Cl2 molecule is equal to, so bond length of Cl2 molecule is equal to sum of covalent radii of 2 chlorine atoms. So actual radius cannot be measured, so we measured the covalent radius which is equal to bond length divided by 2. So if we multiply the covalent radius by 2, we get bond length. So B is the correct option. Value of constant A for gases 4 is in order of A greater than B greater than C greater than D. So which means कि A has greatest attractive forces and D has least attractive forces. So A is easiest to liquefy because of greatest attractive forces. For which of the following molecules bond length is most short than the sum of radii of two bonded atoms? Keep in mind that when electronegativity difference between two bonded atoms is greater, so bond length is shorter. Now the electronegativity difference is greatest between H and F, so bond length is shorter than expected in HF. Positive deviation from ideal behavior occurs because, so positive deviation occurs when the value of Z is greater than 1. So here the positive deviation is occurring. So positive deviation occurs because Z is equal to PV by RT. Now at higher pressure, pressure is greater, but volume does not decrease at higher pressures because gas molecules are already close together. So pressure is more high but volume is not that less, due to which the Z becomes greater than 1 due to increasing PV. So incompressibility of a real gas at high pressure is the reason for positive deviation. Bond energy is greatest for, so F2 has smallest size, Cl2 has larger size, Br2 has even large size, and I2 has largest size. So bond energy is inversely proportional to bond size, which means कि order should be I2 the least, then Br2, then Cl2, and then F2. But here is an exception, that the original order is I2 is the least, followed by F2, followed by Br2, followed by Cl2. This is because the two fluorine atoms are very small and close together, which lead to increased repulsions between both of them, and breaking the bond in F2 is very easy. Therefore, Cl2 has greatest bond energy. Which of the following molecules has zero dipole moment? So PH3 has no electronegativity difference between phosphorus and hydrogen, but due to lone pair there is slight amount of electronegative polarity, so dipole moment is not negative. H2O is a highly polar molecule with dipole moment of 1.85 dBi. Trans 1,2-dichloroethene, so in trans molecule both the chlorines are opposite side of each other, so the dipoles are opposite and they cancel out each other, so this is a non-polar molecule. That's it for the lecture. Thank you.